gearsman took a shot, but Elias dashed forward, then launched himself into a forward handspring to vault over the inevitable second attack. This brought the man with the eye patch into melee with the towering mechanical man, but of course Elias was not frightened. This was all in a day's work. The machine took a hand off its rifle and tried to grab him, but Elias twisted and spun behind it. What a slow, useless thing this was. He kicked it square in its metal rump just for a laugh, then dashed off to the left as it slowly turned itself around. He said a quick incantation and fired off a barrage of little missiles of force, each of the tiny things streaking unerringly through the intervening space, riddling the gearsman with tiny explosions. It twisted and recoiled against the blast, clearly disoriented, unable to keep up. It didn't do much damage, but that was never the point, was it? Elias charged in again, drawing his rapier, and the machine squared up in front of him, pointing the rifle at point-blank range. As it fired, he dropped to the ground on his knees, sliding between its legs, spun around as he kicked back up to his feet, and drove his rapier into the mechanical man's back, running it clear through. The gearsman sparked and sputtered, and then dropped its rifle, its arms suddenly hanging limp at its sides. Satisfied with a job well done, Elias placed his foot on the robot's backside once more, and used it to gain sufficient leverage to pull his sword out and knock the inert gearsman to the ground in one maneuver. He kissed the flat of his blade and then slid it back into its sheath with a smile. "Note to self," he said as he walked out of the laboratory. "Requisition something a bit more satisfying for practice. You're too good for these old buckets of bolts, Elias. Waste any more of your time on them, and you're likely to grow soft." This is Pot Against the Machine.
Pot Against the Machine. Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pot Against the Machine, the only Pathfinder actual play that's trying to convince Legendary Games to write a second module the GM can use for revenge on their players. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
That one might be true.
Oh boy.
Filled with a bunch of low-level bodyguards in a cave. I mean, just reskin the original one, but they're all just mercenaries now. And hello.
Hi.
They still somehow put eggs in you, though.
Avi positing stays in. Yeah.
Let's see. Last week on the program, the party explored the night market. Alwyn did some asking around, heard about a possible cult of Xiphus that likes to hang out in Starfall and the Palace of Fallen Stars. And the party looked at some potential technological items that were for sale. Weren't super interested in anything they saw in the larger bazaar, but once they went up into the gazebo to see what Drund had on display, found some more interesting technological items. Tarazi bought a gravity clip for himself, and he no longer needs to cast lead blades ever again. His blades are always lead. Brixby considered an e-pick, but I don't think he purchased it, and then the party convinced Drund to show them the real treasure, which he was keeping behind a little curtain. He revealed a Cortex gun, an extremely rare item that injects nanites into your body and changes one inherent ability score, giving you a little +2 permanent bonus if you so desire, and it can be programmed to any ability score you choose. Of course, he couldn't let that go for less than 80,000 gold. The party made a big to-do of letting him know that they weren't at all impressed by this really cool device that probably would be quite valuable to them. And they all made like they were going to leave before Brixby just kind of turned back and magically stole the earring out of Drund's ear, because that earring was, in fact, a memory facet. But Drund noticed at the last possible second that the earring had flown out of his ear, and Brixby was the only one left, so he started yelling about thieves, at which point Brixby disappeared, magically stole the Cortex gun out of his hands, and then we went into combat with Drun screaming about thieves, and a strange one-eyed man who had a retinue of swashbucklers with him, who was called Elias, arrived and seemed to be looking for what the trouble was, while Drun pulled out a gun and was screaming about thieves, and the party was making their escape. The one-eyed man cast some kind of a spell and seemed to know exactly where Brixby was, so he started pointing everyone to him, only for Brixby to teleport to Torch, abandoning the party in the middle of battle. After he was gone and the one-eyed man had lost the trail, the party just kind of pieced out, while the one-eyed man said they were going to take the rest of Drun's assembled treasures as payment for wasting their time. As the party retreated into the distance, the sounds of a scuffle kind of dominated the night sky, and the night market came to an end. And that's where we are now, except Brixby's not there. He's several hundred miles away.
How embarrassing that this was all just a misunderstanding and Drund was really excited about essential oils.
Now that I've got you in the tent, how do you want to be your own boss?
It's a good thing we got Mira out of there, because at her age, she'd definitely fall for MLM.
Just an Avon pink chainsaw.
Yeah. No, you don't
Or Mary
understand.
Kay
If
pink.
I sell enough knives, I get my own horse.
So, hey everyone, so meet at Jake's Cake Hovel late night.
I imagine they're open until like 2, 3 a.m. for late night cake runs.
Normal cake hours.
Normal cake hours.
That sounds reasonable and perfectly normal.
That's all it says on the door.
I just have a neon sign that says this is reasonable and perfectly normal instead of the word open.
As the party makes their way to Jake's Cake Hovel, how long is Brixby staying in Torch versus in Starfall?
When they get to Jake's Cake Hovel, he's going to teleport back and meet them in a different form.
So no longer the Asimar?
Yeah, he's going to drop Infused Self and use the hat to be a halfling, a fun halfling.
A fun halfling.
Got poofy little pants on.
But no shoes, of course.
Somebody that wouldn't do crimes. What's that?
But no shoes, of course, because...
No shoes, of course, no. I want to experience Starfall on every surface of my body that I can expose to it.
Roll a fortitude save.
No.
I'm kidding. That's not till tomorrow.
That's how we die.
Is this a greater teleport, or are you doing a normal teleport you do?
I'm burning my second greater teleport.
Okay, so you can return there just fine, and yeah, nobody troubles you on the way through the city. You've thrown up some slums just for atmosphere. I weirdly don't yet have a map for the Cake Hovel. That one's still on order from my map source.
Jake's people have to get on that.
Yeah.
It's a good marketing opportunity. Write in if you want us to kill drug dealers inside battle map replicas of your business.
Are we on this map somewhere and I'm missing a...
No,
if I
this is
type
just
some
kind of an
words?
atmosphere map. I don't think you
Oh, it's
I
very
didn't throw any
atmospheric.
tokens in. It's all nice and smoky. But
There's so many guns in that house.
let's say a good 20 minutes after the fracas at the night market, you all meet up at Jake's Cakes, which is of course closed because it is night.
What are you talking about? Normal cake hours, Sam. Are you listening? Respectfully. Trezzy also has changed his appearance. He's no longer a catfolk man. Now he's a half-elf.
And I guess Alwyn probably would change as well. He's just gonna maybe make himself look like him, but a little bit more Kellid. Or maybe he's got like some random tattoos that he's seen on like other people that probably wouldn't make any sense if anyone was looking at them. And maybe his skin's just a little bit more tanned. but otherwise, and you know, he's got a green robe on.
So many
This
robes.
sounds like a bad AI generation. Like all the
Yeah.
tattoos just say like tattoo.
Yeah.
Put spelled wrong.
Yes.
I guess Kira, seeing all of her friends shift again, will also shift into herself, but 80 this time. Just keeping with the theme.
Oh,
You're so old, it's gross.
I've just is it like a progressive thing? Is that what the fluids have been doing to you, or did you go back for another one while I was gone for like 10 minutes?
You'll
Look at
never
your
know.
But yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't communicate a lot earlier. We saw the memory facet. I thought I could get it, but I did. But he noticed me, and then it just sort of, made sense. We just take the gun too. And speaking of which, I don't really think I need this. I recently gooified my brain to a relatively high state. If I were to get any more intelligent, I'm worried that the human that drives me would not know how to play me at all, because it already stretches credulity at times. But I mean, like, out of this, yeah, I don't need it. Like, the only important stat that I have is a 26, so it would be great on one of the multi-ability dependent frontliners.
Yep. Yeah, I also, the only thing that was kind of bad on me was my wisdom, and I bumped that up with my headband to not be horrible anymore, so I'm good too.
And then there were 2. Should we...
Kira
off?
needs to live for all 6 books and should get the stat.
I don't know that feels like a good enough reason for me, but
That
I also don't want
feels
to hold
great
up the
for me.
episode.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Kira will take it. Kira has seen enough people die now. She wants to be stronger. So, yeah, that makes sense. That checks out.
So we can see what this is keyed to right now, and then try to key it to whatever one you're looking for. So, is it a linguistics check first, and then, or do we know what it is because of the glasses and Androphin?
Yeah, I think being able to read and drop in and maybe having the glasses to help out, and we had a really good engineering check from Tarazi before. You can tell that it's currently keyed to dexterity.
Unfortunately, it's keyed to your nimbleness, and I think. Are you thinking more? Or It does great for radio. Brixby flexed an arm and then hugged himself to show strength and/or constitution.
I think that I've let enough of us die and get hurt, and maybe it wouldn't happen if I was stronger.
I like this. All right. So we roll to. So now it's a linguistics roll.
It is indeed.
All right. It's a 19.
Well, I think something goes wrong while Brixby is working on it. Like he left out a semicolon somewhere or something, and it just starts flashing errors and just dumping out a whole bunch of nonsense output when he tries to fire the gun up.
Is it a roll that I can try again?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like there's any actual penalty for
That's so
failure.
good.
So
Oh, thank goodness.
Can anyone
No, if
aid?
there's no penalty for failure, does that mean he could take a 20 on it? Technically?
he could.
Because I think you can take 20 on anything that doesn't have a failure penalty.
That's true. Time-wise, we'd just be out there for a long time. And the idea was kind of, we want to do this quickly. That's a 25?
Yeah,
But that
no-
is a good point in General Turo.
On the second try, Brixby is able to figure out what mistake he made the first time through and able to reprogram this thing to strength.
It's because I wrote strength before. Wasn't literate for a long time. But, hands it over to Kira. Never going to tell you this, but I need you to lift this up and point the barrel into your head. Maybe pull the trigger, have someone else pull the trigger. Right here, in the middle of your bones.
And Kira says, in my bonds?
Yeah, your front bones.
Okay. And she's nervous, but she trusts Brixby. He wouldn't tell her to shoot herself in the bonds. It wasn't for something good. So she takes the nanite gun, points it at herself, and pulls the trigger.
And an 80-year-old Kira shoots herself in the head with an adamantine needle. I'm going to need a will
Jake's
save.
cake hovel. All the children there at 2 a.m. are like, ah!
What is this game?
What's that grandma doing to herself?
Sorry, you said that was a will?
Yeah, will save.
All right. 22?
So, Kira, it's not the greatest to get like a big needle shot into your brain, and just for 24 seconds, you are totally stunned.
Okay, so Kira shoots herself in the head and then just freezes.
Yep, it's like rebooting.
Let's throw the gun in the bag. The extra dimensional space for now.
Any of the 4 extra-dimensional bags we currently own.
Yes. It's true, yeah. Got that new handy haversack. I think everyone has one now, right? For a while.
Yeah, well, Kira has the actual bag of holding, and I think the other 3 of us all have haversacks now.
Now, here's a fun thing to remember. In 24 hours, Kira's strength goes up by 1, and then 24 hours after that, it goes up by another 1.
That's
I'm going to
fun.
write that down somewhere.
I can also put it on this sheet that I am tracking Rusty's intelligence successes.
Please
with
put it on the
as
sheet.
well.
Please put it on the sheet. When I say write it down somewhere, I'm texting it to myself. I'm still young.
I put a note to myself in my notes as well. I'm totally not going to remember what they refer to.
+1. +1.
What is Kira's strength going to be after this has run its course?
I add it to the bigger number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 22.
Yep.
And then if you're raging, it goes up to
100.
If I'm raging, it goes up to 28.
Nice.
That's what we like to hear. Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to rip so many things apart with my hands.
Sam, could I roll either a spellcraft or a knowledge arcana? It seemed like when the eye-patched gentleman that I don't know if Brixby overheard his name. I guess maybe he did inside the tent.
Yeah, I think you were right nearby when he yelled Elias.
Okay, so yeah. So when Elias said your weapon is going south, I feel like Brixby has an idea that seemed to be the source of what he was tracking. Is there a way that he could know if that magic, either one, could penetrate an extra dimensional space, and if there's like a kind of a bounds to it?
I mean, let's see. You could have seen him when he cast the spell, like you. So
Yes.
we can do a retroactive spellcraft.
That is a 43.
You cast this spell not too long ago. It was a locate object, and it is bounded by distance and can be stopped by barriers.
All right, well, we can hide this. It's a little bit like the magic that we tried to use to locate that horrific creature back in the sky. It's a lot of things that can disrupt it, but see, maybe we could even bring this back to Mockery and see if they have any ideas about an advantageous way to use this. There's a lot of tensions here, as we saw. Scrap between the Baron, technically, what you heard about the Black Seers, what we've heard about the Sovereign himself, and we know pretty much everyone in the League is ready to cut each other's throats over anything that blinks. So, I don't know. Maybe he'll have a good idea of what we could do with this now useless object. Do you feel stronger?
I don't think Kira answers. I don't think. It's like she almost doesn't hear you.
Just take out your sticker pack and put on the way to being even stronger sticker on you while you're still stunned.
Sure. Yeah. I think, Kira slowly comes out of this stunnedness, and is just looking at her hands, like completely unaware that there are other people there, just staring at her, turning her hands over and over again, maybe talking to herself under her breath. That's it.
How are you feeling, big stuff?
And I think she doesn't react until you say big stuff, and then sort of starts. I feel this is weird. This feels familiar. I don't know what that means, but... And she'll, like, reach out a hand and try and punch through the table. Should I make a strength check? Yeah, I'll be fine. She can fix the table afterward. I guess her strength hasn't actually improved, and she's not raging, so she's just going to hurt her hand. But this is fine.
Jake's is known for his durable tables.
Hey, but that's a natural 20. Wait, break off the chunk of table?
With the natural 20, so is that 26 not raging? Break
25
DC.
not raging.
Break DC on a good wooden door is 18. So I think you break the table.
And she's like, oh, yeah. I mean, I feel weird for sure, but I feel stronger. Stronger! And she, like, seems back to herself, but anyone's still looking at her after that might notice her stare at her hands one more time and then kind of move past it.
Well, Alwyn isn't stinky anymore by now, but Tarazi's fast healing has kind of gone to waste, though I'm sure he's eaten plenty of cakes today. What do y'all want to do? It is night.
Go back? Is there anything that... I feel like we're risking any form of exposure being out.
Yeah.
I think maybe the best thing to do, especially since I can't imagine the rest of the night market is probably still going after what we did, could be to go back to Mockery's place and sleep till morning.
I could use a nap. I'm a ghost now.
Oh no.
Died of old age.
Yeah,
Age
she got
too
too
far.
old.
Yes, the way Mockery was talking, he implied that drawing too much attention to ourselves could have detriment. So it could be best to lie low for the evening, and maybe tomorrow we could either invisibly or disguisedly or onesie-twosies go and check out the palace. That elderly gentleman that was almost as old as Kira is now. That, the one that the succubus wasn't. Maybe we could find some news of him.
Indeed, and we can also, Brixby shows the memory facet, talk to Cassandra, our friend, about this. Explicitly does not say her name.
Cassandra, our friend.
Orange Julia.
Orange Julia.
Incidentally sounds a lot like Kira's new accent.
All right, well, you can slink through the kill box slums back to Mockery's hideout. Let yourselves back in the house and down to the basement. Mockery's there. It's pretty late, so maybe he's already in bed. He's like, welcome back. Did you have a successful trip to the night market?
You could say that. We got some interesting items, but we may have caused a little bit of a scene getting it. But this time at least no one knew it was us or saw us.
Oh, that's some trick.
We may have relieved the Baron of, his belle of the ball, shall we say, before the technically got there or there was any time to auction or really anything. And we still have this item sequestered away, so their divinations to find it, at least the ones that they were initially employing, currently shielded. But I think that it would be advantageous given the, just generally captious nature of this place. Seems to be a bunch of factions like crabs in a bucket. Do you think we could stir up maybe a little bit of, chaos in our favor by dropping this off in an advantageous place?
What did you have in mind? To lure them somewhere, perhaps? Lure the League into some kind of a trap, or?
That, or direct their, perhaps maybe looking like another rival League member took this item. Or perhaps maybe something related to the Black Seers in the church. We've heard that there's a little bit of tension there as well. I mean, we could even possibly say that it was any number of folks, but it looks like these factions are particularly grinding up against one another, and I'm just wondering if this could be a well-placed wrench.
Could be if some of them are looking for it. They could butt heads. I don't really know much about the Black Seers. They traffic in accidents or things that look like accidents, but perhaps have a little bit of a nudging along. I'm not sure how you would manipulate them to your purposes, but if you could locate a technically gauge it and perhaps try to plant it on them or some such thing. I'm not sure.
Well, not to be grim, and I promise you we are not serial killers, but if there's a high likelihood we will encounter a technical league agent that will no longer be able to defend themselves, I guess, unless they were forced to speak after death. But this might be something that would be a little easier to plant on somebody that isn't necessarily there to say that it isn't theirs. So maybe we should just hold on to it.
So, if you want to track someone down or something, I'm just not sure how best to use this to our advantage. I suppose it helps to know that we know they're looking for it and we know where it is.
You did raise a good point. We could also use it to lure a specific response as well. But yeah, no, it really just made her stronger. Doesn't she look ripped?
Hello.
Those triceps are frightening.
I'm frightening. Because I'm a ghost.
Slicing bread with those triceps.
With the chainsaw.
Are you trying to actually be a ghost? Because I feel like adding transparency to it or something would...
Don't be foolish.
Not that you're not frightening as you are, but I'm just not... It's not giving ghost vibes.
Okay, well, you're not giving you get your own bed to sleep tonight vibes, so yeah.
Walked into that one, didn't I? I am already in my bed, though. So...
Her grabs the edge of the bed and just rolls him out. No, she could do it, though, with her strength. She's very
Roll
strong.
for initiative.
Not yet.
No.
He was level 17 the whole time.
Ah, right.
I don't know what he's even bothering with you people for.
No, we're not the best house guests. We just keep showing up with tales of murder and mayhem after he has carefully constructed this underground resistance network, and we're like, we saw something shiny and we stole it.
Speaking of which,
yeah.
can we look at the memory facet and see if we can determine what this particular one does?
Yeah, sure. That's an old engineero.
Dress number is probably not enough. It's only a 27.
Sorry, the 27 will not do it.
Rixby, who is spiteful on this map, has a 39.
39 does, however, do it. This looks like a discipline facet, which bolsters an AI's thought and personality with rigid order and behavior, granting a +2 enhancement bonus to its intelligence score and the ability to bolster the programming of any robot within 30 feet of itself as a swift action. A bolstered robot gains +2 circumstance bonus on attack, damage rolls, and will saves.
This will make her smarter and the ability to strengthen her mechanical allies if she wants it.
Who's she in this scenario?
We could always.
No one.
Yeah, no, really no one. I thought we had retired to our room.
Well,
It's really looking at the map.
it's all
Aren't
kind
you
of
back in
hammock.
bed?
communal
Just
deal here.
yeah.
We all...
Anyway, it's a communal deal, but you're not sharing your bed. Shoo out of the hammock.
I was gonna say, to be fair, we may have retired to his room if I remember
We're all
correctly.
crowded
That was
around
on
the
the
bed.
hammock directly above his
Canonically.
bed. Yeah, we're just above his bed in the hammock talking.
I will literally cast Mage's Lucubration for us to have another telepathic bond so we can continue this conversation. Because I've only used, it's a good day I didn't have to use my Disintegrate today. But, at the same time, I only used, sneaky spells. So, can use it for this. as I was saying, before somebody so rudely eavesdropped on us, looks down from the hammock. I think that maybe she might want this. It would make her smarter, and it would give her the ability to bolster any mechanical robotic allies she might have. How many?
I think it's at least worth asking her.
Should we ask him to leave his room?
It's only
He
polite.
can't see us if we pull out a phone up above. The hammock's in between us and him. He can't see it.
Can't you see?
Although I
the
guess he
hammock?
would hear her talking, wouldn't he?
Maybe we should
I guess
just
it
go.
depends on the material. You're right. You can see through some hammocks.
Let's just go to one of these unoccupied rooms to do this. This is silly.
All roll out of the hammock together.
To all get down, we have to walk on him to get off the hammock.
Sorry.
Sorry.
He just looks so horribly defeated.
Sorry.
Connor said they'd be helpful. Just seems like madness.
We make our
How many memory facets can they use at any time?
Yeah. What does she have now? 2?
Yeah, she can have up to 3 equipped at any given time.
Yeah, because we have the compassion one, and what's the other one we have?
I don't remember.
friendliness. No.
Searching this in the wrong thing. It is just listed as memory facet in our things.
Ingenuity
I think that was the one.
and compassion.
Ingenuity, that's it. Because ingenuity is the one that was just listed as memory facet in the thing. So I remember thinking like, oh, that's cool. It'll increase our memory. And you're like, oh, wait, no, they're all called that.
If you bust out Cassandra Lee's iPhone in your private room over here. Says, good morning, everyone. Or I have no idea what time it is.
Look, I'm old.
Oh my God, you are quite old. Have I really been away for so long?
13 years. Sorry, we forgot.
Oh, I'm amazed that Unity hasn't escaped yet if it's been 13 years.
You know? Wild. Anyway.
She's joking, actually. We took some, I don't know if uncontrolled substances, and they had some deleterious effects on 2 of us. I
Totally
just got really hungry, and Halloween got very odorous, and it was bad.
For some reason, that just keeps happening.
Yep. And
Maybe you have like a predisposition to stinking or something.
To smelling it.
I don't really know a lot about ASMRs and their glands and their perspiration. It could be a thing, but I'd like to think it's just Halloween. Anyway, that got weird. Kira got 13 years older and, well, Brixby stole a magical technological earring that turns out could help if you were interested in such a thing. We could plug it in and it would make your routines stricter, but it would make you smarter and give you the ability to bolster robotic allies in a certain range, if I understood all that correctly.
Well, that sounds like it could be useful if you want me to be out and trying to help you. If I take control of a robot, I could make it stronger. That could be useful.
Are there available ports? You never ask a lady her age, her weight, or her ports.
Yeah, she's got one open port.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a way to say this that keeps it family friendly. Trauzy will enable the memory facets function in the open port.
Unfortunately, he plugged it in upside down.
Oh, classic USB A. Or B, for that matter, but mostly A.
Oh no. Hold on.
And he will turn it right side up and activate it.
Crazy, it doesn't go in that way
Oh,
either.
come on.
Then you flip it back to the original and then it actually goes in. That is the real USB experience.
Yep. They call it a universal serial bus, but I think they don't know what the U means.
But at least the experience of failing to plug it in is universal.
You know what? That's true.
Feel obligated to like check in on their well-being because I don't really know how time passes for them when we just put them in a bag. But
Well, it's weird. We exist in a strange liminal space. It's like existing and not existing at the same time, but there are 108 of us, and we have fun together, even though we don't physically exist.
well, don't get too crazy in there. Brixby has literally no idea what to say to that.
It's hard to describe.
But it might be easier to describe now that her intelligence score is increased by 2.
That's true.
She's really a smartphone.
Whoa.
Some of us don't seem to like the discipline thing. There are several Cassandalese that are they're in a huff. They're off in the metaphorical corner. They're having a hushed conversation. One of them is giving me a dirty look. They don't want me to tell you.
It's a good thing Mockery's not listening, or he would think something weird's going on upstairs.
Mockery's got a pillow over his head. He's just what on Earth? I don't know how he found out about Earth.
I don't feel like there's anything that Cassandra would know that we need to know right now. Because most of what we need to know is like what's happening in Star Hall, right?
Oh, though I wonder if she'd know anything. I'm trying to remember. One of the rumors I got on the first day we were rolling for rumors was about like ghosts kidnapping people and taking them to the mountain. Could we ask her if she knows if Unity has any kind of tech that could do something like that?
Cassandra Lee,
What's up?
you know about Unity, right?
Yeah. We know Unity very well.
Do you know if Unity would have any reason to, and also any way to, kidnap people in the city outside the mountain?
And she thinks for a minute, and like you can kind of see like the face like turning around and whispering to the other background Cassandalese. And then she comes back and she says, we don't think that Unity could do something like that themselves. They don't seem to really be able to affect much outside of the wreck itself, at least in my experience, but they definitely have robots at their disposal, various different shapes and sizes that they might send out if they want people. They could want worshippers, they could want beings to experiment on. They could have any number of terrible designs on people from the city. I don't know exactly what they would be doing.
I think so. It is something that Unity could possibly be doing via robots.
That's all they said, right? Like it was like a flying ghost or something like that. Because didn't they like? Yeah, they specified flying.
Yeah, it said they were like being carried away. Yeah.
Carried away. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, did you know something inside the Silver Mountain has awakened? Some kind of ghost in there from another world. It flies out at night out of the mountain. It kidnaps people and flies them back into the mountain.
Like ghosts do.
It reminds me of that, like the very first or maybe second robot we fought that was the one that was designed to like capture animal specimens. Remember that flew and it had the net?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Wow, second
Yeah.
Sky Medal. Excellent callback. You're just racking them up. None of these have any value.
This has a picture of Zach's face on it. It says no cash value.
Oh, now I need to come up with a good name for a Zach Sky Medal. Zach Coin. No, I don't like it.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, the word coin is ruined.
It's his new crypto venture.
It's super ruined.
No, it's been ruined.
That's been so ruined.
Yeah, that was the only thing I could think of to ask her. Because really, we're not seeing much Unity stuff yet. Like, I'm assuming until we go into the mountain itself, we're mostly going to be interacting with the League, not with Unity.
This definitely feels more like...
And she left before like, she left the city well before the League ever were here, so she wouldn't really know anything about them.
Yeah.
At least I'm assuming. Maybe we should ask her just in case.
I believe she said before that when she left, there wasn't even really a city around the mountain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And I think I remember you saying that, like, before she met Zoud, she hadn't really seen anything with the League either.
Right.
So,
what about followers of Xiphus? Do you have any? It seems like that people have potentially worshipped a deity of accidents, failures, and misgivings named Xiphus. Does that ring any bells for you?
I mean, we remember Xiphus from the time before when we lived in Alkenstar and various other places around the world, but within the divinity, the only god is unity. There is nothing else.
Did the people that built Unity have gods? Did they have a god of accidents, the Androphans? Maybe not the same name, but the same purpose?
I'm sure they did, but I'm afraid I don't know anything about their religion. If there are records within the divinity, I think Unity either keeps them close to itself or has destroyed them completely.
which would make sense if it wants to be, like, the only god. It would get rid of any info on other gods.
To change the adventure path, just Iron God by book 6, if that's the case.
Yeah, that's all I can think of to ask her. I don't know if anybody else can think of anything.
I'm good.
I don't think so.
Right? Bedding down for the night?
Before, maybe, as we're starting to leave, Bixby lightly puts a hand on Vic's stuff and says, "Hey, can we check in for a sec?"
Okay.
Earlier, when, odd way to put this, just doesn't sound right to say, but earlier when you shot yourself in the head,
Right.
seemed a bit stunned after you were looking
Yeah.
at your mitts.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it was stunning, but... And she kind of, like, looks around. Brix, there was more to it than that. It was a weird feeling. Like I felt this before. Like it was igniting something that was already inside me. I don't know how to describe it, but... And she, like, flexes her hands again. And then runs her fingers across the tattoos that line the left side of her body. I don't know. Maybe someone here will have answers.
You're full of mystery, big stuff. And strength, and stickers, and love for your friends. But also mystery. I'm sure, not to quote a sad note, that Silver Mountain may actually have answers for you.
Yeah. I still need to find that lady that Vargas and I were looking for. She might know where my mom is, but maybe we can pause on that and I can find out what's inside me.
As someone that has recently looked very deeply inside themselves over the past few months, it's often far more than you can imagine is what you'll find in there. And I will do anything to support you in whichever quest you choose to take, whether it's to find more about your lineage and your mother, or this, or anything else. And I don't want to speak for the other two, but I have to assume that they'd say the same if they were here. Just didn't want to ambush you.
Thanks, Rick. I'll lean down and give him a hug and accidentally snap a tiny little bone. Oh my god. Oh no.
Oh.
You
Oh,
hate to see it.
it's cool. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, no, it's I remember when Alwyn was still learning Bone Shatter, and that something like this did happen to me as well. So it's cool. I'll just chew this limb off or something, like a rodent normally would. Rick goes to bed.
And we roll over to the 2nd of Neth. As we wake up in the morning, we've got a couple orders of business. I do need a D100 from everybody again.
It's a 39 from Brixo.
All right. Don't worry about it, Brixo.
I got a 36.
All right. Also, don't worry about it, Alowin.
2?
I'm going to need another fortitude save from Kira.
Okay, that's a 16 on the die plus... Sorry, that was probably annoying. Plus 16, so what is that, like a 32?
Kira wakes up a little bit phlegmy, but she's fine.
Oh, no.
What Tarazi?
48.
All right, he's fine.
It's also them goo rolls. So right now I have a +9 to hit a DC 18. This is the second to last roll. I am about to roll. Rolling. Yes. That is a 15 off the die for a 24, which means we just have one more check to make Rusty. Oh, wait. 3 successes. Nope, that was supposed to be a DC 16. So, my bad, I jumped ahead just by 1 there. So we have 2 more successes after this, but we did certainly beat that DC 16. So 4 out of 6 successes. Enjoy the good goo.
Yeah, so the Rusty statue comes to life to eat some goo. And maybe we'll walk around with Rusty today, and nobody's seen him yet in Starfall. Could be fun. Unless we're going into the palace, then we'll turn it back into a statue.
Well, in the morning when everybody's like, preparing spells and doing their morning calisthenics and morning chainsawing the air and whatnot, one of Mockery's Khaled agents comes climbing down the ladder / stairway and makes their way over to him, and like they have a little hushed conversation by the door. Mockery claps them on the shoulder, and then he comes over to the lot of you and says, it seems you all left a little bit of a mess behind. You didn't actually get in a fight at the night market?
We didn't get in a fight there. We took the item that the Baron had, like Brixby said, but then we ran off. If there was a fight, we weren't in it.
Someone left behind 6 dead bodies in the square.
Yeah, for once that was not us.
Yeah, we left. There was a skirmish starting between the Technic League and the hired muscle that the Baron had employed. But between good luck, invisibility, and teleportation magic, I was able to get away, and my compatriots all left peacefully.
Applaud your restraint, but it seems that I'm guessing by the sound of it, the League took issue with Mr. Drun's employees, or perhaps Mr. Drun took out his frustrations on the League, and what resulted was several corpses left behind, perhaps as something of an example. If I had to guess, I would say the League's attentions are going to be somewhat heightened now.
We have been doing them big crimes.
Question.
I mean,
Yeah. That was a good question that Brick said, though. Was Grund one of the corpses?
My agent would have certainly led with that if Drund himself was dead.
yeah.
If I had to guess, depending on the severity of the scuffle, he's either in a prison in the Technic League compound, or he is up in his own manor licking his wounds.
Well, with the League on higher alert, do you recommend we lay low? Not that we were planning on crime today, but I don't know. There was a possibility we might investigate the palace. Just kind of, take one of those guided tours.
It depends on your aim. The public portions of the palace, as far as I know, are still open, so they should be allowed in without issue, as long as you're properly disguised so they don't recognize you from any of the recent incidents.
What about countermeasures against magical disguises? Like the likelihood of that occurring?
Do you think they know that you're magically disguised? Certainly members of the League would be able to dispel or use some sort of true seeing to see through such illusions, but I don't think the rank and file generally are equipped.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if maybe there were Technic League that just floated about the palace as well. That, I guess they wouldn't actively have most of those magics. I don't know any of them besides the basic see invisibility. Do have a limited duration, so
There's
yeah.
probably some agents in the palace itself, but mostly they are either in the facility or off on some expedition and in the mountain, or some of them are probably out in the city itself. I'd imagine whoever you encountered last night is... he may well be looking for you.
Actually wanted to ask you about that. First, we saw a technical agent, totally bald, with scary eyes. Do you know that one?
That sounds like the Shade. I have no idea what her actual name is. She's a frightening customer. She tends to do a lot of the League's dirty work out in the city. I believe she is, even as League members go, quite a cruel customer. She is in some way augmented by technology. I don't know exactly.
If she mainly does work for them in the city, though, she'd probably not be very likely to be in the palace, right?
She's likely out and about in the city. I think that she is a fan of watching prize fighting, I believe. But she doesn't, I don't believe she spends much time in the palace, no.
What about Elias? Do you know anything about him?
Elias, I'm guessing, would be Elias Embervale. He's a Taldan. I have no idea how he found his way up here. Bit of a fancy man sort of braggart type.
He had a dandy fop vibe, yeah.
Yeah, he certainly thinks the world of himself. I'm not sure why exactly he was out aiming. He must have been interested in whatever Drund had, but I believe he is a focused individual, and if he is moved on from, he's either looking for what he was trying to buy from Drund, or he's looking for the people who took it.
Well, again, hopefully we can use that to our advantage at one point. This may be outside of your realm, but have you heard of the divinatory capabilities of the League?
I'm afraid I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of accomplished spellcasters among them. I'm sure they can cast any given spell you could think of between the lot.
That's what terrifies me. Alright, yeah, no, we should just assume, one, that we should try to get rid of this gun, but also that they will be able to tie these sequences together at one point if a sufficient number of individuals in their ranks probably deign us to be threats to appears to be their individual and competing interests. There is a chance that even all the countermeasures we can employ won't be able to shield us from them, especially because we've come in kind of hot.
The members of the League are many things, but they are not fools.
The thing that worries me the most is the first thing we did, actually, taking out Hellbroth. If it's true that he's the one that's been giving the Black Sovereign his drugs, then that could be a much, much bigger issue than pretty much anything else we could do in the city.
I don't know how much of a supply of drugs they had to begin with, but I would imagine that before too long, we will begin to see the consequences of that.
Just go and visit the palace and all the windows are like blacked out. Like, you're not allowed to make any noise, you're just shot to death. Do you imagine it would be like a really bad time for him? But also anybody who is like lucky and fortitudinous enough to be an abuser of Numerian fluids like is terrifying just in their existence, right? Like,
Yeah.
literally aged Kira 13
About cool
years.
with his like 75 con.
I know.
It's just a big guy.
You mentioned the Shade is a fan of prize fighting. Is that something she watches here in the city?
Yes, I think she goes to various venues throughout the city. There's the only one I can think of is the Tarnished Tooth, which is it's ostensibly a tavern, but they have a ring in the center, and they have all sorts of comers come and fight for money and amusement.
Kira's eyes widen. And do we have the telepathic speech on or no?
No, but we could if you asked me to. And I don't care if
not
it seems
urgent.
rude.
Also potentially rude, Kira leans down and, like, whispers to Brixby, "We have to go there." And that's it.
Then we will.
Do we think that she's someone important enough to the League that if we're able to chase her out of town or take her out like we took out Hellbroth, that it would help with your rebellion?
She is a captain of the League, and she is their arm within the streets. If she was gone, it would be easier for us to operate out in the open.
So you're saying without this Sade that you could be a smooth operator? Because I am willing to go and visit this tarnished tooth tonight to make that a reality.
Do not underestimate her. She certainly is a powerful spellcaster in her own right, and I believe that her body has been technologically augmented. I don't know how, but she's certainly quite dangerous.
Does she fight?
No. I've never heard of her fighting, but I think that she often hires champions away if she takes a liking to them into her own service.
Sorry, the private chat is wild right now. Just occasionally you get like a pop-up and you read it like out of the context and you're like, but yeah, no, well, that seems like we have a couple options then. We could go and observe. We could participate. But I think ultimately we have to gather more information on her strengths. If she has anyone she trusts, and if she even has weaknesses. And I'm sure there's probably nothing else you can share with us, because you've been very helpful, as is.
Trying to do my best to help you help me.
I mean, we could really try a very subtle play. Enter a fighter, see if that piques her interest, and go from there. Unless anyone has any other ideas about how we might go about it.
It could definitely work. Kira and Tarazi are both very good fighters. Maybe if we enter one or both of them, they can attract her attention and she might hire one of them. That would get us closer to her.
We could also try to gather information on her specifically earlier today. That would help.
I think that's a good idea.
How do you feel, Tarazi?
I wonder if the only way to face Kevoth Cool is to get ourselves more fluids.
We take Hellbroth's place and become his dealer.
Fast forward and Tarazi's Scarface.
Kingpin, yeah.
No, I'm still interested in checking out the palace, and if we find that they have some sort of detector that goes off and they can see through our disguises, then we know, whoops, gotta get out of there. And if not, we could at least get an idea of, Mockery mentioned, the sort of public-facing parts of the palace, and we could find out where the private portions are, presumably, employees-only doors and such. Maybe we'll even
Private palace portions, yes.
Yes, the palace portions. The private palace portions, as they call it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
PPPs.
Those plosives.
The partitioned private palace portions.
So I think that could be right. We could gather some info, go to the palace, and go to the Tarnished Tooth at night. Seems like a pretty stacked day.
We're gonna get so many steps in.
Oh, yes.
I'd like
And
to
a
think
day on Galarian only lasts 2 hours.
that Cassandra is the most high-tech pedometer, tracking all of our steps.
It's just her counting as you're walking.
One,
2, 3.
Unfortunately, all 108 of them are counting at the same time, and they argue over how many steps it was, and then they collectively lose track.
That was 257. No, it was 258.
I like that plan, though. If Alwyn's willing, he seems to be the most capable information gatherer.
Yes, I can try to get some information on the Shade and on the Palace.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Do that.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bixby's gonna use the rod to cast Infuse Self to look like an Asimar with jewel-toned eyes and a lustrous silver skin color.
Let's see.
Just kind of reading right off the physical description on D20 PFSRD.
Yeah, there's some really interesting ones, especially for some of the sub types of Aasimar. There's some really neat ones.
You should start doing stuff
Because
on
different
the,
ones
on
are
the roll
based
table.
off like different celestial ancestries, and some of them can get really wild.
Bloomkith forever. Yeah, Tarazi will. He's sort of feeling out that half-elf disguise that he didn't get to wear too much yesterday. He looks like a legally distinct Tanis half-elven from Dragonlance.
With the beard or without the beard?
With the beard.
Kira will look like Willow. Wait. Maybe that's a bad idea. Kira will look like... I'm out of people. I don't know any more
From
people.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, big stuff. I appreciate the gesture because they're good homages to the people that you love. But you are tying your loved ones' faces to crimes against the state. So you may just want to impersonate a stranger or like come up with something in your head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't really mind my sister being, an enemy of the state, but I do like my mom.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah. Your
Kira
dad's
will-
pretty neat too.
Yeah, I don't want to look like my dad. And I guess I can't look like any bad guys we know because they're the worst. So I will just look like a person with blonde hair and brown eyes.
Is that
What
everyone
is your-
disguised?
Yes. And
Yeah,
how to
I think
disguise.
Galawan's just using the same one he used at the end of yesterday. Just kind of looks like a Kellid in a green robe.
All right.
Change it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't know who's watching.
Oh, okay.
He takes his hat off and puts it back on, and his hair turns like in reddish orange color, and he gets like really pale skin with freckles. And he's wearing a brown robe.
All
We're
right.
racking up internal paranoia points. That's how I feel. In tandem with our big red dot points.
I think the most important thing is that everyone do at least 100 different disguises over the course of Book 5.
And
Yep.
remember them all.
Described in full effect each time.
Yeah, and get caught.
I like to
every
point out, like, Alwyn is not like changing face shape, and so there's just like 20 people they think are wandering around that all look vaguely similar, but like palette swapped with each other.
It's just a bunch of cousins.
Old crime cousins.
So is the first order of business looking around for information, or are you heading straight to the palace?
Yeah, I think we would probably go towards the area of town that's around where the fighting thing is and do gather information there.
Okay. And what are you...
Because we know she shouldn't be there this early, so we don't risk running into her, but we can maybe just ask around.
Okay. And you're asking specifically about the shade?
I think he would probably keep it more general and just ask about, like, Technic presence in the area. Because I don't think we would want to... Like, he might not think this, but I imagine, like, Brix or Tarazi would recommend to him not to be too specific. So he would just be asking more about general Technic League activity around the fighting arena.
All right. Let's do that roll.
That is only a 9 on the die, so that is a 25.
25. I mean, it's early in the morning, so there's not a lot of fight fans out, probably because they were, up late last night watching the fights. But over the course of a couple hours, you do manage to find somebody who's like, oh, it's the worst when the Technic League people come around. I mean, everybody clams up, everybody stops drinking, everybody stops betting, and it's just like, slowly try to get out of there before before they start arresting people for any old thing.
So the League don't like the fights? None of them come to bet on it? They just come to break them up?
Oh, that's the worst thing, is they come and then they treat it like it's a private show just for them. That's, what's her name? I don't know, the creepy one. The creepy one with those eyes. I mean, she's the worst. I mean, if she thinks you're too close to her while she's trying to watch a fight, she'll take out that whip of hers and just take your head clear off with it.
That's not how whips work. But Alwyn doesn't say that.
I've never seen it, but my buddy saw it. He got smacked in the neck and his head popped off.
Wow, that sounds really scary. You don't know what days, if any, she likes to come, so we can try to avoid her if we want to come watch a fight, do you?
I don't know. It's whenever she wants to blow off steam, I guess.
So if something's going on that might make her stressful, that would be a good day to avoid the fights?
Yeah, might be. Everybody else in the city needs to decompress, but of course it's just goes for the League first, you know. Everything's gotta be for them.
He's thinking right now, like, oh, gee, a stressful event like maybe somebody murdering their main source of Numerian fluids and her not being able to find who did it type thing. Could be the kind of thing that might make her want to show up to the fights.
I don't know why you'd think that would stress anybody out.
Yeah, but he will, assuming, like, I don't know if the rest of the party came with him or not, but if they didn't, he would be sharing all of this either when we meet back, I guess when we meet back up, because we don't have the thing cast.
Could, Izzy, what is Kira's, like, flat diplomacy?
Not good. Like a +2 or 3. Let me check. Yeah,
Yeah,
+3.
she has a really high intimidate.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can intimidate
Yeah.
someone. We need someone intimidated.
I wish.
Oh, sometime.
I'm sure there will be time for that.
Yeah, we've got that whole book left.
Is there a way that you could also find out who, like, runs the fights themselves?
Yeah, that would be another question, but we still got we got a long day. So he will maybe also, I don't think he'd ask the same person, but because he could, because he's asking about the fights, like he wants to go to them. So that is a 19 on the die. So that is a 35, 10 above last time. To ask, he'll say,
So on the days where there aren't technically captains decapitating the other spectators, what kind of thing goes on at these fights? Who runs them? What might someone do if they maybe want to be a fighter or bet on the fights or anything like that?
Well, it all runs through the owner of the Tarnished Tooth, a guy named Trusk. He's a real stand-up guy. I mean, everybody knows Trusk. You know Trusk. And you...
I've heard the name, yes.
Yeah, he works the bar, he runs the fights, and, of course, you know, you gotta clear everything with Eshki. If Eshki says no, you know, there's no fight, but she's cool, and she'll let stuff go, and some nights she fights, and then, of course, that's not a whole lot of fun unless you want to see somebody get the floor wiped with him, but...
Thank you very much.
there was a pretty high roll. Is there anything else we want to ask him while I'm talking to him? Trying to think. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the info we want as far as the fighting goes. So he will share that with the rest of the party. You know, who runs it, who to talk to, about everything, and when she's more likely to be there. And also the stuff with, like, her not liking the crowds around her and that. So then I guess after that we would head towards the palace, take our tour. I wonder if we would want, thinking back to what Jeff said about if they have, like, the magical version of, like, a detector type thing, if we would want maybe Brixby to go first, because then he could teleport away if they suddenly, like, instantly detected him.
Are you all
This is
going
such
in
a long
together?
talking.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah,
I'm so
Zach
sorry.
doesn't see that we're all doing the thing. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't see. I literally just apologize. So while we're walking, let's cast. Let me cast this. Cast telepathic bonds so we can have the communication in our head from here moving forward. Just stay close, because I can teleport us away, no matter what we do. Should be very careful of plague agents, and be basically prepared to disappear at any time. We should worry because there is a chance that we may not be able to teleport as easily inside of the castle. There are places that I have heard that are like that. I don't know if this is one of them, but it's usually to prevent assassinations and the like. I also think we should, while we've been playing relatively, yesterday was mostly me doing this, but fast and loose, we should be very cautious today. Even if we have to go back, be better to just not make a scene at all, because I feel like this would be the third successive day. They might just start shooting people at random.
So, couple questions for you before we proceed any further. One, where is that Cortex gun?
It's in one of the bags of holding.
It's in the bag of holding.
Okay.
Should really get rid of that first.
So it's in another dimension,
Yeah.
at least.
But it's still in another dimension, but still.
Is Rusty out and about still, or is he going away as we go to the palace here?
He's gonna go away before we get too close to the palace. He'll be a statue.
Okay. And then one last question, which is not really a question in the same way, which is just, can Kira roll me a will save?
That's not good.
Hey, that's an 18 on the die for a 29.
It's a pretty good roll, pretty good will save. And with that, as you're heading up the hill into the Palace of Fallen Stars, you can see the multi-domed amalgamated structure looming above you. I'm going to bed.
Mystery rolls.
Night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Night, ominous will save.
Night, ominous will save.
Good night, Sam. Andy, I'm as well save.
And that ominous will say.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pot Against the Machine is property of Network Against the Machine LLC, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are property of Paizo Publishing. See their website for more details. Theme Against the Machine was written and performed by our own Zach. See the show notes for additional music and sound licensing. If you enjoyed the show, we encourage you to leave us a review.
BD to recard.
Wave
Sound
form.
waves. Waveforms.
Waveforms. Teleportation form.
Roll a fartitude save.
Never not get me.
Be ready to clap as soon as I upload another weird yogurt image.